Hello friends, welcome back. It's time for another episode of BigDenoPlays, Ashes Reborn, Red Rains, cool little deck building game. Really excited to try a two-player version of this actually. Hopefully my friend Whale will be up soon and we'll be able to play a two-player of this game. Because I think it'd really be good to, you don't sort of interact too much together in the two-player variant. But you do have some interactivity. But yeah, just I think engaging with the game in a different way. Alternatively, I might play two decks myself. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. So I'm making my way through the chimeras in chronological order. So the first chimera that was released was called the Corpse of Viros. That is the one that we played yesterday. However, I'm not doing the characters in chronological order. I'm just literally picking ones that I've got recently that I haven't yet played. So this is Dimona Odinstar. That's who we're playing in this one. And Dimona is a Valkyrie. And all of her stuff is about putting her characters on mounts and sending them flying through the sky, which is tremendous. I'm very, very excited about that. And yeah, we're playing against the Frostwild Scourge, which is kind of like a cold monster guy. He uses two different alterations. So the original, the Corpse of Viros, didn't really do a massive amount of manipulation of the board, whereas the later ones do tend to do things quite differently. This one starts by adding alteration spells to both your units with a stun and to their units with a mighty alteration card. So yeah, pretty excited. We're going to try standard level 2. We're going to try and escalate this one. So 35 health for the Frostwild Scourge. So we will set us at 0-0 and get ready to rumble. Alright, so we have a 2, a 2, a 2, a 1, and a 1. Let's give that a shuffle. That's on our draw pile. So 5 aspect cards. So remember, the red rains are applied for each aspect card that remains on the board after the first round. So this will immediately be more of a challenge, and if I continue to roll 12s, it'll be even more. So let's talk about the first five cards we've got, and I have literally opened this deck today, so this will be the first time I've even looked at these cards. I just sleeved them and got ready for the game. So let's look here. Rayward Knight, 3/3/3, excellent. When it comes into play, you may search your discard pile for an ally and shuffle it into your draw pile. It's got a side action to attack. Huh, nice. Rayward Recruit, when this unit comes into play, you may choose a divine die. Excellent. Cloudburst Griffin Conjuration. What do they do? Quick Strike's amazing. Oh my goodness. What does it cost? A divine and a time. It's expensive, but it's a good one. A Duelist. Bring it in only a side action. A couple of side actions. We didn't have a lot of side actions in our first one that I've recorded. So Disarm. Oh, this is actually really good for the Frostwild Scourge. Discard and target alteration spell. Cool. That's good. When this unit is declared... Oof, okay, excellent. I'm very excited. Dimona herself has a cool ability. So you can remove an exhausted ally from play and you can bring an Imperium mount, which is also ballistically cool, 3/3/3. Yeah. She's a lot of fun, this chick. So I have actually played her before. Her deck comes in one of the other Red Rains expansions, the Siege of Lord's Wall. So I played her with the deck that came in that, but this is her expansion deck, and so we haven't played that yet. So she uses Time Dice and Divine Dice. So Divine Dice, the white dice, are actually probably my favourite dice in the game. So, a couple of lions, and tigers and bears. Oh my. Yeah, that's a great roll. That is as good a roll as you could ask for to set us up for this. We have 2 power, 2 class, and 1 basic for each of our things. So preference is always to bring in units early on. So I think we will start, let's take these out of the way. Let's start by bringing in a Crystal Archer, which is our main action. And we need to use 2 of our middle dice to bring her down. So she's got 2, 2, 1. Preemptive shot. When she's declared as an attacker, blocker, or guard, you may deal 1 damage to a target unit an opponent controls. A blocker is when she blocks for Dimona. A guard, she can't actually guard at this point, but there is occasionally cards that can give you unit guard. So she could potentially guard if she had unit guard, which she doesn't at the moment. And obviously if she's an attacker. So she just gets to plink 1 damage off. So that is very good. Let's see if we can start off with a 12 like we did last time. No, it's an 8. Oh, I haven't got the cards out. Let's zoom in and have a look. So lots of Frostwilds for us to face off against. Hopefully we won't need to see the ultimate 3, but behaviour 1, behaviour 2, behaviour 3. So an 8 is reveal and attach a Vigor attached alteration spell to the conjured aspect. So all Vigor does is it gives a +1 attack, which is punishing, and when we kill that target, we have to reroll a basic rage die, which could mean that it escalates towards its thing a lot quicker, and so then it reveals. We have revealed Crushing Grip. The opposing player's leftmost unit is considered to be exhausted, and it has Defender. That's tragic. So this Crystal Archer is effectively exhausted. Wonder if we could promote it. Thanks to... No, we don't want to promote it. We need to kill that Crushing Grip. So... Yep. Alright. It's our turn. So we're going to do a little cheeky move that we can do, which is very cool. We're going to play an Adept Duelist as a side action, and it costs us Time Hourglass as well as a basic. And because we brought that in as a side action, we can then attack with it as our main action, and it cannot be guarded against. So that's pretty great. What we're going to do is we're going to attack this Crushing Grip. Bang. The Chimera does not guard for it because it has Defender. And when this unit is declared as an attacker, you may discard a target alteration spell. So we can discard Vigor. Very nice. We defeat that, however he will defeat us in return, but we do prevent that Defender rule from coming into play later on, and our Adept Duelist is discarded, but we will be able to get him back with our Wayward Recruit or our Wayward Knight. Excellent. Okay, Chimera's turn. A 6, reveal, and then attack with the revealed aspect. What do we have? A Sweeping Strike. After this unit destroys an opponent by attacking, the opposing player must place 1 wound on the Phoenix Born or rightmost unit. Okay, so we will actually use Dimona here to block. She's going to block that attack. So she's going to take 3 damage. She can only do that once per turn. I don't think I did that with Rowan. Maybe I did in the last one once. So she'll block that once. That exhausts that guy, so now all of his other abilities are irrelevant. So I think we're actually going to do the Crystal Archer. So it is going to, when this unit is declared as an attacker, blocker, or guard, you may deal 1 damage to a target unit. So we're going to declare the Crystal Archer as an attacker. We're going to try and attack the Sweeping Strike. We will declare that, so that does 1. We then roll to see if the Chimera guards it. 2, come on! It's a much more positive start than we saw in the last game. So we're at 3 blood, and we have now the ability to promote here. What do I need for the rest of this? So this, I really want a Griffin, so I need that and that. The Wayward Knight is 3, and that is 1. She is 2. So we're either not taking a Wayward Knight, which I'd like to have, or we're not promoting into an Empyrean Mount. Interesting. All right. Chimera's turn. A 4. Attack if able. If not, reveal. Giant's Might. When this unit comes into play, attach a number of Vigor equal to the Chimera's current phase. It is phase 1, so we attach 1, and it's got Gigantic. It cannot be blocked or guarded against by units with a life value of 2 or less. That probably changes what we need to do quite a bit. Okay, I think we will bring in our Wayward Knight. He's going to cost us 3. We'll use one of our Lion Heads. And when it comes into play, you may search your discard pile for an ally and shuffle it into your draw pile. Hello, Adept Duelist. And we then have the option to declare a charge. Take an attack action, declaring this unit as the attacker. This Giant's Might will not kill us if we do that. However, if the Chimera blocks, we will not be able to do anything about its attack on Dimona. So it's a 1 in 3 chance that it stays on the board, and we can defend with this for 0 risk. So we won't charge there because that will prevent us from defending in a future turn, which we don't want to do. A 6 and another basic. We haven't yet rolled a Red Rains. That's amazing. Reveal and attack with the revealed aspect. What do we have? Another Giant's Might. No, that's bad for us. Vigor. So it applies a Vigor. We will block with the Wayward Knight, which is exactly what we just talked about. It's attack 3. This attack is only 2. So we're going to kill that because it's only life 3. And it's going to put 2 damage on our Wayward Knight. However, we are now exhausted. We do defeat this aspect, so we have to re-roll a basic rage die. I have unfortunately rolled a Red Rains symbol, so that Giant's Might is defeated. And we gain 2 blood, 1, 2. So now I think we have to place an Empyrean Mount on the board. We do. Blade Master when this unit is declared as an attacker. Yep, so we will bring on an Empyrean Mount. And that costs Dimona her main action, and it exhausts her. Remove an exhausted ally you control from play, and then place the Empyrean Mount on top of it. So basically, she's telling him to ride on a Pegasus. Get on that Pegasus! Fly! Fly, my pretty! And if the Pegasus is defeated, I get that ally back. I love Dimona. She could be my favourite. I've got another favourite, it's the Necromancer, but this guy could be my second favourite. We'll see. And we'll spend those 2 for that. Okay, so the last roll for the Frostwild Scourge, one assumes. Oh, of course it's a 12. I spoke too soon. We were going so well. a wild throw. When this unit comes into play, attach a stun conjuration to the opposing player's target leftmost unit and reposition that unit onto their rightmost unit. Okay, so we will attach a stun conjuration. So the stun means that we're considered to be exhausted. So I'm actually going to have to change my plan now. Actually, if I kept that lion instead, which is what I should have done, yeah, that's much better. Okay. So yes, as a side action, I will unstun by lowering a dice in my pool, and then as a main action, I will play this Wayward Recruit, and I will also give them an extra attack. And they can do that because they're armed. When this unit comes into play, you may choose a divine die in your exhausted pool and resolve its dice power without paying any cost. So we're +1 attack, which is glorious. Alright, so that is the end of our turn. So the Frostwild will now attack. We will block with the Empyrean Mount. And so the Empyrean Mount is going to kill that. We're going to take 2 damage, which we will recover, which is nice. However, we have to re-roll because there is a, yes, Vigor spell attached. That's another 2 blood. We're at 7 of 35. Vigor is gone. And the Empyrean Mount is exhausted from blocking. So our Wayward Knight is being defeated here. There's nothing we can do about it. So the timing of this... Actually, I can kill that with the Wayward Recruit because it's got 1 attack, as long as the Chimera doesn't block. We'll do that. The Wayward Recruit will attack. Don't roll a 9+ Deno. Let's zoom in. Deno! 1 blood. 1 blood. Cleaning the board feels good in turn 1. We'll play Summon Cloudburst Griffin, which is just an action into our spell board. That's the end of the round. We will recover. 1, 2, 3. We will remove exhaustion tokens. 1, 2, 3. That Wayward Recruit died as well, I should say. And it's now that turn first. Replenish aspects. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I love Dimona. She is just unreal. We will deal ourselves out 5 more cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What did we get, Deno? We got Piercing Lights. Oof. That is a great spell. It gives units overkill. A knight! Disengage. You may play this after an opposing unit declares blockers. Choose an attacking ally you control that is blocked. It is no longer attacking. So blockers, yeah, Blessing of Lightning. Oof, that's great. Free boosted attacks. Action spell discard, action spell discard. Okay. Let's roll our dice and hope that we roll as hot as we did in the last turn. We didn't, but we rolled okay. And fortunately this deck so far, from what I've seen, doesn't need a lot of power dice. It just needs class symbols. 1 turtle. Alright, Chimera is first. So it's going to roll an 11 and a basic. The 11. Attach a stun conjuration to the opposing player's target rightmost unexhausted unit. And then it will reveal. What are we revealing? Charge Fist! So it's got 3 status tokens. I don't think we saw too much of these, but these cards are always in play. The effect is always in play, even if it's exhausted. So at the start of its turn, you're going to remove it. It's going to deal 3 damage to their Phoenix Spawn and reroll all non-basic dice in their active pool. I don't like you, Sam I am. So it's pretty good use of our Wayward Knight to kill that straight up, I think. Yeah, so we'll lower one of our basic dice to unstun our Empyrean Mount. That's a side action. And then we will attack with the Wayward Knight as our main action. On the Charge Fist, the Chimera will block for it on a 9 or guard for it. Oh, Deno! Alright, well we just do 3 damage to the 1, 2, 3 to the Chimera. Yeah, well, that's bad. That's very bad. Yeah. Okay, Chimera's turn. So we remove one of these tokens. So there is now 2 status tokens at the start of its turn. A 6 and a red reigns. 6 is reveal and then attack with the revealed aspect. What do we find? A wild throw. Alright, he's going to wildly throw our already exhausted Wayward Knight all the way over here and stun him. In case you can't tell, I really like the Frostwild Scourge and their things. I played against it a fair bit more than the others. I really like I feel like it really interjects and interchanges with things. So it is going to wildly throw and attack for 3. Because it's attacking with the revealed aspect. So it kills my Empyrean Mount. We could attack that back and kill it. And yeah, I think we're okay with that. So we'll actually let the Empyrean Mount die. We get this ally back into our hand. We'll defeat the wild throw, and that gets us just 1. 12 blood required down, and that's it. So whatever we do, we need to defeat that Charge Fist. So I don't really want to double tap my Wayward Knight. Yeah, I think we do it. I think we're going to do it. We're going to bring in another Wayward Knight as a main action, and then as a side action, we are going to charge onto that Charge Fist. So yeah, this is if this one blocks a second time, I'll be a little unhappy. I really wanted to get Piercing Light in play first, but there's no way to do that. Come on, man. 1, 2, 3. That's quite annoying. All right. I think that does cook us. I think we are suffering all of our non-basic dice getting re-rolled. Possibly. Oh, I don't like that Chimera blocking. Can the Cloudburst Griffin attack in the 1 turn? Has it got a side action? No. Damn, that's so annoying, Deno. Alright, Chimera's turn. A 4 attack if able. So the Charge Fist is going to attack my Wayward Knight. It's stunned. It doesn't counter. We suffer 2 damage. It removes another token. I got no way to kill it, so it is going to deal 3 damage to our target Phoenix Spawn and reroll all non-basic dice in our pool. Let's bring Crystal Archer into play. We'll tap these 2 dice. And then, as a side action, we're going to play Blessing of Lightning. Choose up to 3 divine dice in the exhausted pool and resolve their dice powers. 1, 2. Is this crazy? Just go all in on the Crystal Archer. 3. Yep, that's crazy, but I like it. Alright, so this triggers now. So we have to re-roll all non-basic dice, which is all of our dice in our pool. We lost 1 hourglass. That's pretty good. And now it's going to roll a 10, attach a stun to the opposing player's rightmost unexhausted unit, which is our glorious Crystal Archer, and then reveal. What have we got? A war cry. After this aspect, or an adjacent aspect, is declared an attacker. This is exhausted, by the way, because it attacked. Attach a vigor spell. Yeah, we don't like that. So we need to kill that. It could attack now. Oh, we need to do 3 damage to Dimona. Sorry, thank you. She hasn't blocked yet. It's only attack 1. We can probably afford to wait for piercing light. Yeah, so we'll side action, disengage, discard, and turn this into a lion. I'm going to play piercing light onto our spell board. All units that have a divine die on them have overkill now. So that is all. That's a little bit of a gamble there from me. We didn't need that, but it sets us up for next turn to really power home. A 1, that's just a reveal. The plan's paid off. Another charge fist. It hasn't paid off that much, do they? Alright, so I think we summon a Cloudburst Griffin as our main action, which is there. Oh. And as a side action, we will drop this down to clear off the stun. The Chimera, a 2 reveal. Alright, it's worked out pretty well. We're not going to be able to kill all of them, but we're going to get pretty close. Another war cry. Not rolling any more dice. Great. No. If the Chimera blocks again, I'm going to be quite unhappy with my time here. Chimera, Chimera. So we'll let the Cloudburst Griffin defeat that one. And we'll bring on an Empyrean Mount to defeat this one. So the Crystal Archer probably needs to put a... I don't really want to kill this. With the Crystal Archer, it feels wasteful. So I've got 2 dice left. The next thing that's happening is this guy's attacking. But I can potentially block with him. So the downside of waiting to attack is that every time they attack, they get a vigor aspect attached to them. And so that gives them an extra attack, which isn't super relevant, but it does let them reroll a basic rage die. We're at 4 of 5. If we get the 5th one, I think that will trigger an ultimate at the end of the round. So I don't love that. But I think that our best play is to do the charge fist, because then it stops 3 damage coming through on Dimona. So our Crystal Archer, that means we're not going to be able to kill that. We're going to be able to kill one of them. No, we have to go the other way. We have to go the other way. Alright, I'm making this more complicated than I have to. Here's what I'm going to do. As my main action, I'm actually going to dismount this guy, and I like the fact that we now have an Empyrean mount for our stunned, wounded Wayward Knight, and he comes back. He's full to the brim. That's our main action, and side action is nothing. That was Dimona. So now the Chimera goes, this gains a stun, conjuration, a vigor, sorry, will block with the Empyrean mount. So we do 3 damage, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oops, and this goes down to 2. Vigor. It does have a vigor attached to it, so it does 2 damage to our Empyrean mount, but we are countering. So we're exhausted. So now my Crystal Archer is going to shoot someone. And I think that someone is going to be, I actually just realised that this comes on over here. Does matter, actually. Does matter. Yeah, my Crystal Archer, I think we're going to attack this Warcry. It's the most effective use of our attack. So yeah, actually what we might do, so this turn it triggers that, yeah, then the Griffin can kill it. Alright, Cloudburst Archer shoots the Warcry. We plink this one off using the 1 damage from the preemptive shot. Pew! That can't be stopped. That gets us 2 blood. 1, 2. However, we have to re-roll this die for the vigor. Come on. And then, as long as the Chimera doesn't guard, I'll feel pretty good about our time here. Yeah, Deno. Another one. 1, 2. We're at 19. This Charge Fist is going to attack the leftmost unit. It's going to discard this. It's going to do 2 damage to our Wayward Knight. He's going to accept that graciously and kindly. And then our Cloudburst Griffin is going to go. It's going to attack that Charge Fist. And once again, as long as the Chimera doesn't block, it actually deals its damage before units in battle. So it's really good to have it on the board because it can plink something off. 7. We stop that from triggering, which is nice. We deal another 1 blood. We're at 20. And we're next. That's the end of the round. The Chimera adds 1 red reins. Charge Fist goes away. Recover, recover, recover. Exhausted, gone. And these Divine Dice also go away. Yes. Well, this is doing fine, isn't it? This is doing fine. Great. Replenish aspects. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we will deal ourselves out 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. We have Crystal Armor. Yes. That's such a cool spell. And another, more Blessings of Lightning, more Crystal Armor. I don't think we need it. So we have 20 attack, 20 down of 35. Our current attack is 3, 6, 9, 11. So we're going to get to 31 if we just pour everyone onto the Frostwild Scourge. The Frostwild is about to trigger its ultimate because it's got 2 red reins, and as soon as we roll 1 more, it will trigger ultimate. So I think the leftmost unit should attack as our first action because its ultimate destroys the leftmost unit, and that is our Wayward Knight. Fortunately, we can take a charge action, which is a side action, and still get a main action out there. So maybe we'll put out a Cloudburst Griffin. Let's roll our dice and see what we have to play with. Dimona! Oh, it's play around in the sprinkler time, Deno. It's just do whatever you want, mate. Let's do whatever you want. Great. Yeah, so we'll definitely attack with the Wayward Knight there as a side action. He'll charge. Let's see if the Chimera blocks. Don't block. Yes. So we defeat that. Charge Fist for 1 blood. We don't have a Divine Die, so we don't get to... Oh, should I have done that? So we do... no, because you need a side action to be able to do it. Yes. Cool. And then as our main action, we'll summon another Griffin. So the Griffin costs us, we'll spend a Lion and an Hourglass. We have 5 Griffins. Our battlefield is 7 for Dimona, so she's pretty tasty. And I think we'll trigger the ultimate now. He did take 2 damage out of that, but attack if able, if not reveal. So we will reveal, but we do trigger the ultimate first. So, placing Red Rains, remove them, discard all cards, destroy the leftmost unit, and attach a stun conjured alteration spell to all units and Phoenix Spawn the opponent controls. That is a lot. That is a lot of stuns. Stun, 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 stun. Great, so we have to stun our Crystal Archer as well. Thanks to the wild throw, and it goes on the far right. And that was it. So these are all done. And we remove the ultimate and the behavior card. Our turn. Let's just remove a stun, I guess. Let's take it off this. Let's take it off the Griffin. And the Griffin's actually just going to attack that wild throw. And because of its quick strike, it will deal damage before it attacks it back, unless the Chimera guards or blocks. It does not. 1 more blood added to the list. That's it for our turn. Our Cloudburst Griffin is exhausted. The Chimera. A 4 and a basic. Reveal and attack with the revealed aspect. What do we have? Giant's Might. When this unit comes into play, attach a number of vigor to it. 1, 2. Yeah, see, and this is where it starts to combo on us because we can't block with anyone because we're all stunned. So he is whacking Dimona for 3 damage and we can't do anything about that. So she is at 9 of 16, but he is exhausted. 3 life. Okay. We might play a Crystal Armor. This is a reaction spell. You can play it as a reaction spell. After an opponent declares attackers, you may play this spell from your hand by paying 1. So we're going to give our Crystal Archer some Crystal Armor. So that's our reaction. Then on our turn, we will turn one of these down to clear our stun. We've still got 2 stuns on the Crystal Archer. And we will attack here actually, what we might actually do is the Empyrean Mount, because this Cloudburst Griffin is better attacking something that's not exhausted. So 3 attack. Does the Empyrean Mount successfully attack? It does. Giant's Might. 2 blood, 1, 2. And then we re-roll 2 basic rage dice. And both of those are added to the red rains. Chimera's turn. A 10 and another red rains. Attach a stun to the opposing player's target rightmost unexhausted unit. It is unfortunately none. They're all exhausted, so we don't do anything, and then it reveals Crushing Grip. Our leftmost unit is considered to be exhausted. Alright, don't appreciate that. Promote an exhausted ally. So we can't do that unless we have an ally. We don't have an ally. Let's lower a dice in our pool to remove the stun from the Cloudburst Griffin. Nope, no point doing that. We'll remove it from the Archer. And then as a main action, we will summon... No, we can't. Yeah, we're in trouble here. All of our main actions are offline. And let me run through why that is. So first of all, Dimona has a main action, which is remove an exhausted ally. These are conjurations, they're not allies. So we can't remove the Cloudburst Griffin. We could remove the Crystal Archer, but it's not exhausted. It is treated as exhausted though from that. So I'll come back to that. It can't attack here, because even if I remove the stun, it's still considered exhausted because this ability is in play. This one is a conjuration, this one is a conjuration. This one we could potentially promote into, but we would lose the positive alteration spell which I put in play. I could bring in a piercing light, but that requires a lion head. I don't have a lion. I could summon a Cloudburst Griffin, however, they are maximum 2. This symbol here, so I can't do that. And all of the other cards in my hand are side actions. And the reason why this is potentially problematic is if you pass and the Chimera has a unrevealed aspect card, it automatically gains a red rains. So as passing as my main action and just doing a side action of removing that stun. It might still be the right thing to do. Alternatively, I could unexhaust Dimona instead of the Crystal Archer, promote the Crystal Archer because it is exhausted, rather than giving it a red rains. Crystal Archer's not doing too much, I suppose. Yeah, we'll do that. It's a waste of my Crystal Armor and Turtle spell, but it gets rid of those 2 things. I'm pretty sure that they are cleared. 2 basics, an Empyrean Mount for our Crystal Archer is our main action. A 1, reveal. Sweeping Strike. Alright. So side action, we'll lower this down to that to get rid of this stun. And our Empyrean Mount is going to attempt to charge or attempt to attack this Crushing Grip. The Chimera doesn't block for Crushing Grip because it is Defender. So we just get to do damage to it. We do 2. It does 2 to us, but it is defeated. That's 1 blood. And I think we're home. Chimera's turn. This guy attacks us. It defeats the Empyrean Mount. we must place 1 wound token on our Phoenix Spawn or rightmost unit 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So Dimona has 10 health. We destroy that Cloudburst Griffin, we destroy that mount, and we get that Crystal Archer back into hand. Yeah, we play a Crystal Archer, boom, this is exhausted. We can resummon a Cloudburst Griffin, that costs a 1 and 1, so we'll discard 1 and 1. We might as well discard a couple of cards from the top of our deck while we're at it. To turn this into a turtle. And we'll summon a Cloudburst Griffin. The Griffin will attack here. Does the Chimera block? Does not. That's 2 blood. 27. The Crystal Archer will attack Chimera, as will the Cloudburst Griffin. That's 5 damage. I can't afford this crystal armor, which would have been nice, but 5 damage takes us to 32 of 35, again clearing the board. Can you tell I like Dimona? Turn 4, I mean, I don't think too much happens at this point. We'll put out these, 1, 2, 3, 4. The Chimera is technically fatigued now because we've been chopping it up. Doesn't have too much effect. If we force it to draw cards or discard cards, it suffers damage. We don't have anything in our deck that forces that. So, cool. The Chimera will go first. It rolls a 9 and a basic. The 9 deal 1 damage to all exhausted units. Sorry, the end of the round. So everyone is unexhausted. That's good. And then reveal. Charge Fist. We attack everything at the Frostwild Scourge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 for a total of 43. So that is a very strong performance from Dimona Odinstar against the Frostwild Scourge on standard level 2. I really like Dimona's playstyle. So one of the things I'm really keen on about games like this is the deck building, but I do feel bad doing it in the context of playing against the solo version of the game, because I think that taking a very tuned deck in against these would just be a little bit too much. I think we would take it down with a little bit too much ease. And of course that's why they have a built-in difficulty lever with Heroic. Heroic's actually an extra 5 health. We would have defeated Heroic. Heroic 2, 40 health, 6 aspect cards. Heroic 3, 40 health, 7 aspect cards on the board every time. That's a lot. It is very quickly escalating red rains into these cards very, very quickly. The first 2 turns would be absolutely punishing, but that's where, you know, the very tuned decks, the decks that you're doing lots of cool combinations with, I think would be the right level of challenge for that. So I'm not going to play any tuned decks at this point. I'm just going to stick with the precons and have a bit of fun with them. But yeah, I love this game. The thing I really enjoy most is the game has a pacing to it, and you can feel when you're ahead and you can feel when you're behind. But when you're ahead, it doesn't mean that you're absolutely, that's it, you've won. You know, you've still got to make good methodical plays and still look for the little opportunities to take care of the aspects on the board. And I mean, there's probably a playstyle where you just pour everything on your board straight at the Chimera and just do that over and over, everything on the Chimera. Might have to try one of those next. So yes, the next Chimera we will face, and I guess we'll have to try standard level 3. So we might have to play someone that we know. The Blight of Neverset. Standard level 3. 6 aspect cards. Get out of here. It's a plant. So we've kept the aspects with their ones that came in their decks. So we'll stick with that. We'll use one of the Blight of Neverset aspects. And we'll play off against, we'll maybe use someone I haven't used. Lulu Firestone, maybe. Lulu could be fun. First Stone. Cool. If you have anyone you'd like me to play, just let me know. I'm pretty much fully booked now with all of the cards in this game. So let me know if you'd like to see a specific combination playthrough. I'm sure you can tell by how comfortably we handled that one that I'm not too bad at this game. So, and that's just from playing the pre-con decks. Imagine what I could do if I was playing a fully tuned deck. Amazing. All right, friends. I'll catch you on the next episode. Big time.